Hey there guys, I'm Cormizer and I'm embarrassed out of my mind. I hit start streaming instead of start recording on my OBS, so I just had 11 minutes go into the void for one thing, but also was worried I might have kicked someone off. Anyway, hey, the PPC happened last week, and it was an incredibly fun one at that. A lot of good games that have happened, and of course a lot of good games going to continue happening this week. Twitch.tv/PaladinsGame or Mixer.com/PaladinsGame. But to know what to expect to see throughout the week, we have to go back and visit what happened last week and see how the games went. So if you missed it or you just need a fresh reminder, this is what was going on broadcast. So on Thursday, the first game we started with was none other than Onslaught versus Celestial Esports. Now, Onslaught are a team that I kind of expect a lot out of, and as of right now, they're having some difficulties adjusting. The meta definitely seems to be messing with them a little bit, and unfortunately for them, that did not work out too well this day. A 3-1 having to come out in favor of Celestial Esports. Slop and Closar, and Toot Toot, I will throw in there, have been a very difficult to dominate trio, and I think the damage duo of Slop and Closar is remarkably good, with Toot Toot being able to flex around and play aggro tank, or being able to kind of be that tertiary damage in a triple DPS meta. It is making them a very high tier team right now to keep your eyes on. Onslaught, I think once they transition well, they're kind of meddling in the waters, they will absolutely take them. I've seen this team at their best. I know they can continue growing, and so be wary of them in the future. But unfortunately for them, this week was not their week. They lose 3-1. In Control Nation and Carnage Gaming was the second one we watched as we took a trip down to Brazil. And while In Control Nation is the only team as of right now who has been able to take down Parallax Gaming, asterisks on the side, they unfortunately were not able to show up this week as strongly. Carnage Gaming take this one as a 3-0. They look really solid doing it. I think Carnage is definitely still in that threaten Parallax mode, although the first time we saw them, the matchup didn't quite go that way. In Control are definitely a top 3 team. It's how consistent they're going to be, I think, in the future that will open our eyes to whether or not they are the team to beat. But they are definitely someone to keep your eyes on. Then the last match we had on Thursday was Sanguine going up against Team Project. Now, Sanguine is a nutty good team. They have been on the top, they have been very solid, and they make a much better team than I honestly thought they would, guys. I mean, I'm talking about coming into this split, I see these 5 names, and I'm like, cool, that's 3rd or 4th. Like, just being realistic with where these players have been in the past, and how they're going to mesh, how they're going to adapt to this cross-league. My mindset just said, this looks like it will be a 3rd or 4th place team. Not the bottom, but not the top. And they shut me the hell up, and I'm happy about it, right? They have come through and looked remarkably good. Of course, I am now saying this when they went up against the toughest team they had to. Ricotta, Shadow, G-Bunny, Cuss Cutie, Hero. Team Project was victorious this day. They take it as a 3-1. So Sanguine still find themselves a map, but unfortunately go down. But when you look at the team they're going up against, that says something more to me than anything. I mean, Team Project should be winning everything with that kind of lineup. And so it's very nice to see Sanguine kind of stick it to them and, again, keep things interesting in North America. I believe Team Project take that #1 spot, still undefeated as of right now. But with a caveat, they will be losing Shadow, announced today, which I'm recording this on Tuesday, so I guess yesterday if you're watching this on Wednesday, the 28th of April, that he was going to be done playing Paladins. I believe that means we will still have one more week, so this next 3-day viewing broadcast party of Paladins Pro Circuit will still have Shadow playing in the one set Team Project play, but he will not be there next week. He will not be there going forward. So who they replace him with will be very interesting to me, as well as how he kind of fills the shoes. Granted, you've got 4 bodies around you that are some of the best gamers that have touched Paladins, so it won't necessarily be hard to look good on this team, but to shine above everybody else will be difficult. I'm interested to see what they do. They take this win, and, well, we'll see if they can continue that. Now, Friday was a sweep day, guys. I mean, it is all left-hand side on this screen right now. 5 randoms took on Rosvet. Rosvet looked really good. 5 randoms just look better. Nixus looks really solid. Ovum showcases a little more flexibility, and that's a huge deal to me. Having Nino and Nixus being able to kind of play very solidly DPS players, but Ovum switched from this aggressive main tank for years to now being this pretty successful tertiary damage that the team has needed while still being able to bring out the Inara if the team wants it is very solid for them. But the name of the set is Zarini. Zarini opened up so much for this team that it is ridiculous. I mean, he did so many remarkable plays in a row so many times. I think he got 2 quadras, or at least a quadra and a triple in one of them. Easily the MVP of this set. I recommend, if you can, go back and watch it. 5 randoms. They win that one. It's a 3-0, so maybe not the flashiest of scores, but they look good in the process. And the sets were, this set specifically was pretty fun to watch. The next one was a little bit faster. Parallax Gaming took on Team Clarity. It's a 3-0. Parallax Gaming win. Team Clarity are definitely someone to keep your eyes on in Brazil. They're looking solid, and they only have been getting better. Unfortunately, when you look at the lineup of Parallax Gaming, specifically the history of Parallax Gaming, it just makes it difficult. They are a hard team to beat. That's why they are the #1 in Brazil. Someone's going to be able to do it consistently soon. The question is, will it be in Control? Will it be Carnage? Will it be Clarity? The world really doesn't know. I mean, maybe even Fatal Ambition can throw their name in it. Balamansa are my dark horse, but I'll talk about them when we get to their set later. Anyway, on Friday, we jumped into North America for the rest of the day. So the first 2 sets traveling around the world, then back, I guess, home, at least for me, as we came into Snappin' versus Tea Party. These are the 2 most inconsistent teams that we have in the league. And I say that with love in my heart, as weird as it sounds. I think the ceilings for both of these teams are very high. Unfortunately, the floors for them are very low. So depending on the day you get them, they're somewhere in this very wide spectrum of good versus bad. Snappin' will have a game where they get 3-0'd and they don't look like they've even played Paladins for 3 weeks. And then Tea Party will have a game that looks the same. And then both of them will have games where they look like they could very much vie for the top spot against Team Project, as well as Flashpoint. Names coming to my brain as they do. I want to know what happens when these teams get consistent. If they can just raise that floor up a little higher so that instead of being this inconsistent, they're this much, then I think they'll have much more success. This one was a 3-0 for Snappin', which is what causes that rant. And I'm going to keep my eyes on them. I have a lot of hopes for both of these teams. I think the lineups, the names, the players have a lot of success behind them and will only go upwards from here. But we'll have to see, how consistently they are able to do so. Otherwise, they might find themselves at the bottom fighting for their spot at the end of the split. And the last match on Friday was Flashpoint versus HP OfficeJet Pro 6978. All in one ready jet. Something. I'll get it one day. Flashpoint. I've been questioning them. Before I get into them, I will say HP OfficeJet have been looking very solid. They've changed some things around in players, but Penguin, Rauki, and Kwashi have been very, very good in their adaptations, and I think this is a team that is growing. This is the equivalent, in my mind, this is the kind of team that would dominate in a minor league if we were in last year's setting, but would then kind of be like Renegades. They'd join the Pro League and they'd probably be 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th if we had that many teams, where the pro play, the top tier, like your Flashpoints, like your Team Projects, like your Sanguines, are going to be a different beast to tackle. But your Snappins and your Tea Parties, they're not going to be as difficult for them. So keep your eyes on them. They're definitely middle of the pack right now, but they're learning very, very well. So I'm expecting a lot out of them in the future. But Flashpoint are the ones to look at. I've kind of been questioning them the last few weeks, wondering where they were. Team Project's been winning. Sanguine's been winning. Flashpoint has been inconsistent. I was wondering what's up with that. Are they not playing as much? Maybe their heart's not in it. There's a lot of stuff outside of the game that can affect what happens in the game. But at the end of the day, they shut me up, and they shut me up well this week. It was a 3-0. They looked exactly the way I would imagine in my dreams, which, yes, I've been watching Paladins a long time. I do have dreams about it sometimes, guys. Don't make fun of me. Either way, Flashpoint, take this one as a 3-0. They make me happy. They shut up everything I've been saying that could be perceived as negative. It admittedly kind of has been negative about them. Again, 5 great players that I wanted to see great things out of, and now it feels like we're about to get there. The rest of the split's definitely going to be interesting in North America with 3 teams fighting for that #1 spot more than anything. And then on Saturday, this one was not quite as dominant as Friday. We started off in Europe with Chroma Space versus District 69. District 69 are still trying to get used to having 2 new members. But the first week they had 2 new members. It's a 3-2. The second week, hey, it's a 3-1. So they still are winning, which, hey, that's great news for them in Europe. They're number 1 pretty solidly at this point. Chroma Space are the team most willing to try things out right now, but are also the team most losing when they try these things out. I'm curious to see what Chroma Space is going to do to adapt. I think they're definitely in this trial period where, honestly, who cares if you're losing, if you know you're going to be able to re-qualify for the PPC, even if you're at the bottom, or if you're trying something new and trying to change the meta as it is. Unfortunately for them here, it results in a loss, but 1 map off of District 69 is nothing to scoff at, so kudos to them there. I'm excited to see what they pull out this week. The last one we watched from this last week, I believe week 6 of play, maybe week 5, I might be miscounting. Balamansa, Fatal Ambition. Now, Fatal Ambition take this set, and they take it as a 3-0. Headed, not PS1. Everyone on this team has been doing nothing but improving. Balamansa are my dark horse. I think Brazil is the most competitive region because Balamansa lose every time, but they push everyone so far when they do it. I mean, they give everyone, save for maybe Parallax Gaming and Carnage Gaming, depending on the day, a lot of trouble. They'll push you to 5-game sets. They'll push you to 3-3s every time. They just have trouble closing it out. I think Balamansa could be one of the best teams if they stick to it in Brazil. It is just learning how to overcome that final hump and close out games that is going to be the biggest difference. It's one of the same problems we saw at Renegades last year. It's something I think Balamansa will be able to tackle in the future. And so keep your eyes on them. But again, this one, a 3-0 for Fatal Ambition. Closed out the week, and that is going to do it for that one. The next week is going to be starting Thursday, 1 p.m., twitch.tv or mixer.com/PaladinsGame. You can go to twitter.com/PaladinsPro to find out all the tweets related to the pro circuit, or you could follow myself at Gormizer, which you've probably seen around the screen a few times, as well as Kresnik, Fawn the Legend, Dave, and Finch. All of them being able to come through and help you know more about Paladins. Of course, we love bringing it to you, and we love it when you're there. So make sure you're tuning in because we miss you guys, and we want to make sure that you're getting the best dose of action and the most fun you can on your Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. With that, my name's been Gormizer, and for everything that is going to happen in this next week in the PPC, we'll just have to see what happens.